I'm with Susanne Kuehl, who is the president of the New Hampshire Dental Hygienists Association. Hygienists in New Hampshire are very excited this week. On June 27th, the governor of the state, Governor John Lynch, signed legislation that is very significant to dental hygienists. Suzanne, can you tell us a little bit about the legislation itself and what do you think it will mean to the dental hygiene profession there?
Sure. Number one, thank you for it. We're very excited here in New Hampshire. Number one, we see this as a first step in what we call autonomy, regulating ourselves, having the authority to recommend rules and different, I'll say, ethics and clinical standards that we think should be in statute will be something that we can officially do now that we have a dental hygiene committee. We also, in our state, have stated for a long time that we are, there are almost 1,500 hygienists and maybe 900 dentists, so that the ratio has been skewed for quite a while. So we're excited to see 3 more hygienists added as part of this dental hygiene committee.
How does the change in the makeup of the dental board of the board of dental examiners, how do you think that will impact dental hygienists in the near future for New Hampshire?
Well, there are 3 things we'd like to do as soon as we are established. One is to have our code of ethics added to statute. Number 2 would be to have our clinical standards posted and used as the template for any hygienist with a license to use as their best practices. And then thirdly, we currently are unable to get home addresses of hygienists. We have asked that, like other professions, they are able to check off a box so that the licensee can determine whether or not they want their home address shared versus their work address. So we actually have a hard time reaching hygienists about continuing education, and that's been an issue for us. So if these 3 things are done, New Hampshire, I feel, will have strong quality and a strong emphasis on continuing education.
What kind of support did you receive legislatively with this bill? Were you able to how were you able to gain support for the legislation?
Well, what was our state association first had done a survey with all of our members, so that gave us clear direction on our strategic plan. Then number 2, we went looking for bipartisan support and found that in both Representative John Sobrowski and Representative Rich DiPentima, one Republican, one Democrat, who both were intimately interested in access to care and had also worked together on previous legislation for the task force on access. So they were well versed in the need. They saw the link to dental hygienists being strong stakeholders in the process. And when we started talking about, again, the ratio, the lack of voice we had, even though there were more hygienists in the state, they quickly signed on and became our champions, for sure.
Well, you mentioned earlier about this, how the second step of what you would accomplish would be the clinical standards. And I presume you're talking about the ADHA clinical standards. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct.
So, again, I'm curious, how was the ADHA clinical standard not a factor before? It seemed like it would have been an important factor in dental hygiene practice.
We are still stymied as to why that would not be. Certainly the ADA clinical standards and ethics are posted on the New Hampshire website for dentists. We have asked on numerous occasions that ours be added as well, and it's been tabled or denied on at least on 3 occasions that I can recall. And we've been told our standards are too high. and that maybe they don't suit the business practice of a dental office. So we find that there is a disconnect between what is, again, we'll call best practices in the field that we feel is this is the benchmark, and we want to make sure that all hygienists are aware of that quality that they should be adhering to. So until we can make it part of the statute, it's a choice.
Well, that's interesting. I presume all 1,500 dental hygienists in New Hampshire, they're aware of this legislation being passed?
Well, what we have for New Hampshire is what we call a constant contact newsletter, which is free. So anyone that has signed up for the free newsletter, of which there are, I think I have over 800 email list names on that at this time. So at least half know, but I'm not sure that until the Board of Dental Examiners actually send some kind of notification that the rest would know.
Well, the ones you have heard back from, what kind of reaction have you been getting?
Congratulations, eureka, yay, more congratulations. So it's been a lot of appreciation for what people realize is a lot of hard work. And I think also, if there's one thing that I see very clearly is that not a lot of people see these small steps as the way we start to work towards improved access and jobs for hygienists. And what I always say to everybody is you first have to be responsible for your own profession. And to do that, you need to regulate yourself like every other profession in New Hampshire. And so this, I'm not going to get a good quote. I thought I could think of one by today, but this is a small step for dental hygiene and a large leap for, I'll say, oral health care.
There you go.
Step. It's a step.
That sounds good to me. So, well, Susanne, I thank you very much for your time with us this afternoon, and good luck with your future efforts. So,
thank you very much. Thank you, Mark.